Have you ever wondered if your morning eggs could secretly be harming your health? Most people think of eggs as one of the healthiest foods you can eat, packed with protein, vitamins, and nutrients that support strength and vitality. But here's the surprising truth. Even this so-called perfect food can become harmful if it's not handled, cooked, or stored properly. Eggs can be your best ally or your hidden enemy. It all depends on how you treat them. A few simple kitchen mistakes can quietly turn this healthy breakfast staple into something that increases inflammation, damages your heart health, and undermines all your best efforts to eat well. In this video, we're going to reveal 5 common mistakes that can make eggs more harmful than beneficial. Some of these may shock you, especially if you've been eating eggs the same way for years without a second thought. But once you understand what these mistakes are, you'll know exactly how to fix them, so you can keep enjoying eggs safely as part of a balanced, heart-healthy diet. Stay with me until the end, because this isn't just about avoiding errors. It's about learning small, powerful changes that can have a lasting impact on your overall health and well-being. We'll go step by step to explain what actually happens when eggs are prepared the wrong way, and what you can do instead to preserve their full nutritional value. So, if you want to make sure your eggs remain a health-boosting superfood instead of a hidden danger, keep watching closely. Number 1. Overcooking eggs. One of the most common mistakes people make with eggs is cooking them at excessively high temperatures. While eggs are rich in protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients, overheating them can alter their chemical structure in harmful ways. When eggs are fried until brown, boiled until the yolk turns grayish-green, or scrambled over very high heat, oxidation occurs. This process creates oxidized cholesterol, a compound linked to inflammation, and an increased risk of heart disease. Have you ever noticed a strong sulfur smell after boiling eggs for too long? That odor is a clear sign they've been overcooked. It happens because the sulfur in the egg whites reacts with the iron in the yolk, forming iron sulfide. While this doesn't make eggs inedible, it does reduce their nutritional quality and may make them harder to digest, especially for older adults. When eggs release that strong sulfur smell, it's not just unpleasant, it's a clear sign that valuable nutrients have been damaged during cooking. Over time, regularly eating overcooked eggs may contribute to long-term health issues, especially for older adults who are already more vulnerable to inflammation and digestion-related problems. Take Robert, for example. At 76, he had been eating eggs for breakfast every morning for decades. He enjoyed frying them until the edges turned crispy, believing that the flavor and texture made them taste better. But as the years passed, he began experiencing frequent heartburn and digestive discomfort. It wasn't until he learned about the harmful effects of oxidized cholesterol that things started to make sense. Once Robert switched to cooking his eggs more gently, soft scrambling them instead of frying them on high heat, he noticed an improvement within weeks. The bloating disappeared, his energy levels increased, and he felt lighter throughout the day. It's a small change, but it made a remarkable difference. Another issue with overcooking eggs is that it can destroy some of their most valuable nutrients. Eggs are naturally rich in vitamin B12, folate, and antioxidants like lutein and zeaxanthin, which are vital for supporting brain function and eye health. But when exposed to excessive heat for too long, these nutrients break down, meaning you're not getting the full nutritional benefit from your eggs, even if you're eating them daily. If you rely on eggs as a major source of nutrition, how you cook them is just as important as how often you eat them. The good news is that you don't have to give them up. You simply need to be mindful of your cooking method. Preparing eggs at lower temperatures, whether lightly boiled, poached, or soft scrambled, helps preserve their nutrients while reducing harmful oxidation. And if you prefer fried eggs, use gentle heat and avoid letting them brown too much. Even small adjustments like these can make a big difference, helping you enjoy all the benefits of this nutritious food without exposing yourself to unnecessary health risks. Number 2. Eating raw or undercooked eggs. Many people believe that consuming raw or undercooked eggs is the best way to get maximum nutrition. However, what most don't realize is that this habit also carries serious health risks. While eggs are an incredible source of protein, vitamins, and minerals, while eggs are an excellent source of vitamins and minerals, eating them raw can expose you to harmful bacteria, such as salmonella, which can cause severe food poisoning. This risk is particularly concerning for older adults since the immune system naturally becomes less resilient with age. What might only cause mild discomfort for a younger person could develop into a serious health issue for someone over 60. If you've ever enjoyed homemade mayonnaise, raw cookie dough, or runny eggs, you may have unknowingly put yourself at risk. Though salmonella contamination isn't extremely common, it's still something you should never take lightly. Symptoms of infection can include fever, stomach cramps, nausea, diarrhea, and even dehydration. For seniors, these symptoms can escalate quickly, sometimes leading to hospitalization or other serious complications. Many people assume that store-bought eggs are perfectly safe. However, even the cleanest, best-looking eggs can still carry bacteria if they've not been handled or stored correctly. Consider Margaret, a 68-year-old woman who began each morning with a raw egg smoothie. She believed this habit was helping her absorb more nutrients and boost her energy. But one morning, she was struck with intense stomach pain and nausea that lasted for days. After visiting her doctor, she was diagnosed with salmonella poisoning. She never imagined that her long-standing healthy routine could have been the cause. Once she switched to fully cooked eggs, she was able to continue receiving the same nutrients, safely and without any further issues. There's another hidden reason to avoid raw eggs. They contain a compound called avidin, which binds to biotin, an essential B vitamin that supports metabolism, nerve function, and the health of your skin and hair. When you eat eggs raw, avidin blocks your body's ability to absorb biotin effectively. Over time, this can lead to nutrient deficiencies that are difficult to recognize until they start affecting your well-being. Cooking eggs deactivates avidin, allowing your body to take in all the beneficial nutrients they have to offer. Some people claim that raw eggs are perfectly safe if they come from organic or free-range farms. But the truth is, any egg, regardless of how natural or expensive it is, can still carry bacteria. The best way to protect yourself is to make sure your eggs are always fully cooked before eating. Doing so not only ensures safety, but also preserves the essential nutrients your body needs to stay healthy and strong. To stay safe, make sure your eggs are always fully cooked. Scrambled eggs, hard-boiled eggs, and poached eggs, where both the whites and yolks are firm, are the safest choices. If you happen to enjoy runny yolks, using pasteurized eggs can reduce your risk, but cooking them thoroughly remains the best way to protect your health. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, take a moment to comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support helps us continue creating valuable health content designed to inform, inspire, and help you live your best life. Number 3, storing cooked eggs improperly. Many people don't think twice about how they store eggs after cooking, but this simple oversight can turn a perfectly good meal into a breeding ground for harmful bacteria. When cooked eggs are left at room temperature for too long or not stored correctly, they can quickly become unsafe to eat. Bacteria multiply rapidly in warm environments, and once eggs reach the danger zone, between 40 degrees and 140 degrees, harmful pathogens can begin growing in just a few hours. This issue is especially concerning for older adults, since foodborne illnesses tend to have a more severe impact on seniors than on younger people. Have you ever left a plate of scrambled eggs sitting on the counter for a couple of hours and then decided to eat them later? You might not have realized it, but you could have been exposing yourself to unnecessary health risks. The longer cooked eggs sit out, the more likely they are to develop bacteria such as salmonella, listeria, and E. coli. Refrigerating cooked eggs does help slow bacterial growth, but only if they're stored properly. They should always be kept in an airtight container and consumed within a few days. Hard-boiled eggs, for instance, should be eaten within 1 week, while scrambled or fried eggs are best consumed within 3 to 4 days. Consider George, a 72-year-old retired who loved preparing a big batch of scrambled eggs at the start of each week to save time. He would keep them in the fridge, loosely covered, and reheat a portion every morning. After several bouts of stomach pain and nausea, he began to wonder if his breakfast routine was the problem. Once he learned about proper egg storage and started sealing his leftovers tightly while eating them within a few days, his digestion improved dramatically. After George began storing his eggs in airtight containers and making smaller batches, his digestive issues completely disappeared. It was a simple change that made a world of difference. Another serious concern with improperly stored eggs is cross-contamination. Cooked eggs can easily pick up harmful bacteria if they're placed near raw meat, unwashed vegetables, or other contaminated foods. Many people assume that once eggs have been cooked, they're completely safe. But the truth is, once they've cooled down, they can become just as vulnerable to bacterial growth as any other perishable food. One common mistake that often goes unnoticed is reheating eggs the wrong way. Have you ever microwaved leftover eggs and noticed a rubbery texture or an odd smell? That happens because eggs simply don't reheat well in the microwave. Overheating them not only ruins their texture, but can also destroy valuable nutrients. The result is a tough, dry, and unappetizing meal that's far from nutritious. A better approach is to reheat eggs gently on the stovetop using low heat. Adding a small splash of water or broth helps maintain moisture and keeps the texture soft and pleasant. If you need to use a microwave, try warming them in short intervals, stirring between each one to avoid overheating. This helps retain both the taste and nutritional value while preventing that rubbery consistency. If you want to minimize the risk of foodborne illness and get the most health benefits from your meals, it's essential to handle eggs with care. Always keep them refrigerated, stored in airtight containers, and consumed within a safe time frame. Simple habits like these can make a major difference in protecting your health and avoiding unnecessary digestive issues. Sometimes the smallest actions, like proper egg storage, can have the biggest impact on how well you feel every day. Number 4. Using damaged or expired eggs. One of the quickest ways to turn eggs into a health hazard is by consuming ones that are cracked, expired, or improperly stored. Even if they look fine on the outside, eggs that have passed their prime or have a tiny crack in the shell can harbor harmful bacteria like salmonella. This is especially risky for seniors, as the immune system naturally weakens with age, making it harder to fight off infections that younger individuals might recover from easily. If you've ever opened your refrigerator and wondered, are these eggs still good to eat? You're not alone. Many people rely solely on the printed expiration date on the carton, but that can be misleading. Most people rely on the expiration date printed on the egg carton, but what they don't realize is that eggs can sometimes spoil even before that date, or last a little longer, depending on how they're stored. One of the simplest and most reliable ways to check freshness is the water test. All you need to do is place an egg in a bowl of cold water. If it sinks and lays flat on the bottom, it's still fresh. If it stands upright, it's still safe to eat, but you should use it soon. If it floats to the surface, it's a clear sign the egg has gone bad and should be discarded immediately. Take Evelyn, for example. At 74, she's always been careful about what she eats and how she prepares her meals. But she never thought much about checking her eggs before cooking. One morning, she cracked an egg into a frying pan and noticed an odd smell. Thinking it was harmless, she brushed it off and cooked it anyway. Within just a few hours, she began experiencing nausea and stomach cramps. After a visit to her doctor, she discovered the cause: food poisoning from a spoiled egg. Since that day, Evelyn makes it a habit to do the water test every time she uses eggs, and she hasn't had a single problem since. Another important factor to consider is how eggs are handled before they ever reach your kitchen. If eggs are stored at the wrong temperature, whether during transport, at the store, or even in your home, they can develop condensation. That moisture creates the perfect environment for bacteria to grow. This is why it's so important to always keep eggs in the coldest part of your refrigerator, not in the door where temperatures fluctuate every time it's opened. Cracked eggs are another hidden danger that many people overlook. Even a small, nearly invisible hairline crack can allow bacteria to enter and contaminate the egg. If you notice a cracked shell, whether when buying or after bringing eggs home, it's best to throw it out rather than take the risk. The same goes for eggs that have an unusual odor or discoloration. These are clear warning signs that the egg is no longer safe to eat. If you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new video. Your support helps us continue creating valuable, science-based content to keep you informed, inspired, and healthy. Number 5. Combining eggs with unhealthy cooking oils. One of the most common mistakes people make when preparing eggs is using the wrong type of oil. While eggs themselves are full of high-quality protein, healthy fats, and essential nutrients, the oil you choose to cook them in can make all the difference between a meal that supports your health and one that slowly contributes to inflammation and long-term damage. Many people don't realize that certain oils, especially highly processed vegetable oils, can break down when exposed to high heat. When this happens, they form harmful compounds that your body struggles to process, increasing the risk of chronic illness over time. If you've ever fried eggs in margarine, vegetable oil, or refined seed oils such as soybean, corn, or canola oil, you may have unknowingly been exposing yourself to trans fats and oxidized lipids. These harmful fats have been linked to higher levels of inflammation, heart disease, and even cognitive decline in older adults. Unlike natural fats that your body can use efficiently, trans fats interfere with normal cell function, leading to long-term damage that accumulates silently over the years. For seniors, this is particularly concerning. As the body ages, it becomes more sensitive to inflammation, which is a key factor in many age-related conditions like arthritis, cardiovascular disease, and even memory decline. Choosing the right cooking oil may seem like a small decision, but it has a surprisingly big impact on how your body feels and functions every day. Consider Frank, a 78-year-old who had been cooking his eggs in vegetable oil for decades. He never thought much about it. After all, oil was just oil, right? But after learning about the dangers of highly processed seed oils, he decided to make a simple switch to natural alternatives like butter and extra virgin olive oil. Within just a few weeks, he noticed a difference. His digestion improved. He no longer felt sluggish after breakfast, and he had more energy throughout the day. He didn't change what he ate, only how he cooked it, and that small adjustment made a noticeable difference in his overall well-being. Another important factor to consider is an oil's smoke point, which is the temperature at which it starts to break down and release toxic compounds. Many common vegetable oils have relatively low smoke points, meaning they become unstable when heated too much. Once that happens, they produce free radicals, unstable molecules that can damage your cells and accelerate the aging process. So, if you often fry your eggs at high heat using these types of oils, you might be unknowingly adding more oxidative stress to your body. A healthier and more sustainable approach is to choose cooking fats that stay stable at higher temperatures, protecting both your food and your health. When it comes to cooking oils, the best choices are those that remain stable under heat. Butter, ghee, coconut oil, and extra virgin olive oil are all excellent options for preparing eggs. These fats not only enhance the flavor, but also provide important nutrients that support brain health, heart function, and overall well-being. They're natural, nourishing, and easy for your body to process. If you prefer a lighter alternative, avocado oil is another smart choice. It has a high smoke point, which means it stays stable even when used for frying or scrambling eggs, and it's rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. The key takeaway here is simple but powerful. It's not just what you eat that matters, it's how you prepare it. Eggs are one of nature's most perfect foods, offering protein, vitamins, and minerals that help sustain energy and support longevity. But when they're cooked in the wrong type of oil, they can easily shift from being a health-boosting food to something that quietly contributes to inflammation and disease. Making just one small change in how you cook your eggs can make a major difference in your long-term health, ensuring that you get every bit of nourishment from the foods you already enjoy. Final thoughts. Now that we've covered these 5 common mistakes, take a moment to reflect on how you've been preparing and eating your eggs. While eggs are one of the most nutrient-dense foods available, the way they're cooked, stored, and handled can make the difference between supporting your health and unknowingly putting it at risk. The good news is that avoiding these mistakes is simple, and once you do, you'll be able to enjoy eggs in a way that truly benefits your body. If you've been overcooking your eggs, try lowering the heat to preserve their nutrients and prevent harmful oxidation. If you've been eating them raw or undercooked, switch to fully cooked eggs to eliminate the risk of foodborne illness. And remember, proper storage is equally important. Keeping your eggs fresh and safely refrigerated helps maintain their quality and keeps harmful bacteria at bay. Keeping your cooked eggs refrigerated and handling them carefully is one of the simplest ways to prevent bacteria from growing. If you've never checked for cracks or expiration dates before, now is the perfect time to start. A quick water test can easily tell you whether your eggs are still fresh and safe to eat. And when it comes to cooking, using the right kind of oil truly makes a difference. It helps you avoid unnecessary inflammation while enhancing the nutritional power of your meal. Your body depends on the food you eat to function at its best. Every choice you make in the kitchen, from how you cook to how you store your food, has a lasting impact on your energy, digestion, and overall well-being. It's not about giving up eggs. It's about learning how to prepare them in a way that brings out their full benefits while minimizing potential risks. Small, mindful changes can have a big effect on how you feel every single day. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share in the comments one thing you learned from this video and how you plan to apply it in your own life. Your feedback truly matters and keeps me motivated to continue creating more valuable content for you. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with others. Your support allows me to keep producing practical, science-based health tips to inform and inspire you to live better every day. Wishing you abundant health, happiness, and peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos on healthy living and senior wellness.